I'm recording and recording. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Happy Life with Maria podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Mitzi, who we met on Instagram and we recently connected. And I thought her story is very inspiring. So I think it would be very interesting to introduce her and hopefully have a very fun, inspiring conversation. Welcome, Mitzi.
Hi, Maria, and welcome everybody. My name is Mitzi Avila. I'm designer. I am baker. I'm from Mexico. I am living in Austin, Texas right now. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny. I wanted to mention quickly, when we quickly connected on Instagram, and then we had like a fun chat before this a few weeks ago. And I remember after talking to you, I was having such a bad day, but then after I talked to you, I was so inspired. I was so
Oh,
happy. I was like, oh my God, this girl's energy is like charging me up. So I remember that. So thank you for
thank you.
that
Appreciate it.
interesting conversation. So let's get started. Usually, I like to go a little bit about the person's background first. So if you could please share with everyone the beginning of your journey and how it all started.
Okay, so I was born in León, Guanajuato, Mexico. So
Mexico.
yeah, just in the center. I love my hometown. So I was living there, and I studied for industrial designer. So I really enjoy to be a designer. I think that is a good excuse to continue creating. So I was studying at the beginning marketing, and then I saw the light, and I said I think that design is for me. So I changed my studies to industrial design, and I studied in an university in Mexico that is the Tec de Monterrey Campus León. So and then I was working there for probably 6 years, and then I decided to open my own firm. So I had my own firm in Mexico for about 2 years. And
Wow.
so yeah, basically I was working in Mexico since I graduated for around 8 years or so, and that was very fun. I was learning a lot, as a new in the design area. I was doing a lot of things related with design, but I thought I considered that the interior design and commercial design was my thing. So I decided to specialize on that area, and then yeah, I met my husband in Mexico. So
Oh,
we are from the same hometown, and but he
oh.
was living in Richmond, Virginia. And
What?
yeah, actually, it was very weird because we had a friend in common.
Uh-huh.
So I met him when actually he was living in Richmond. So we met each other when he visited our hometown during the holidays, actually. And I at that time I had a boyfriend, and he added me to Facebook, social media.
Yes, yes.
And I had him there, like in Facebook, like for about 2 years. And then just I don't know, like he posted something or something like that, and we started a conversation, and everything started there. I was single at that time, and we met each other during the holidays. And yeah, I think that
Wow.
we haven't stopped to talk with each other. and
Okay. And what
then
happened next?
yeah, I met him there, and then I was not expecting, to get married very soon, but we were dating for about 1 year. And
Oh.
then because his migratory process was during the green card process, and his lawyer told him that we should get married to have the paperwork together. So I said, okay, this is like weird for me. So that conversation happened in March 2018,
Okay.
and we got married. We had to get married. It sounds like very weird, but for the paperwork and just to continue with our relationship, we had to get married in June 2018. So basically, it was like April, May, in June. Like basically, after 3 months to discuss about getting married, we got married. So
Wow.
and I moved to Richmond, Virginia. Again, I had my own firm at that point. I had a lot of projects for the rest of the year, so I was trying to manage the projects that I had. From in Richmond, and everything was happening in Mexico. So it was kind of complicated, but thank you for my family and friends that they were helping me during that process. But everything
Mm.
was great. But yeah, I moved to Richmond, um,
In
and
2018, you said you moved in 2018?
2018, yes. And then we moved here to Austin, Texas in 2021. My husband is a scenic designer, so he is like a theater designer. He is
Oh,
very into
wow.
the theater area, so we are both designers.
Love it.
Since always, I knew that I had to move to the States if I will continue
Awesome.
with my relationship, because theater is a little bit complicated to get a good job in Mexico. And so here in the States, is he has built an amazing career. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of the background that I have.
Okay, okay. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, sounds like a very beautiful journey. You were in Mexico, you had your own thing going, you had the design thing going, and then bam, you meet your future husband, and your life kind of takes a different turn, which is a good thing. Um, brings you to America. And what was, I guess, the transition like for you, switching roles to live in America?
Well, it was like I cannot say that was hard. I consider myself that I like the challenges. So I was like, I am very excited, but I was very nervous. And at the same time, I didn't know what was the future in the States when I recently moved. So I basically, when I talk about this, like, what I was doing in the past when I just moved to the States, is like very fun, because my father in Mexico is a professional photographer. So I have, this love for photography since I was born. So I said, okay, if I don't specialize in design as I was doing that in Mexico, probably photography is one of my favorite things. So I can, start a business in photography. So when I recently moved, of course, I waited for my documents to start working in the States, and I opened my own business in photography, actually. So I said, okay, I will start, taking pictures of everybody is in love with pictures, so I can take pictures and everything. So, and then the photography in Mexico is a little bit different than in the States, because you cannot take pictures of the people that is not giving you the permission to be in the pictures. So I decided to take pictures in the restaurants, like a social media thing, just like creating content for restaurants in Virginia, and also for pets. So photo shooting, homeowners with the dog or cats or
Nice.
pets or whatever. So I was
Mhm.
doing those kind of sessions. And I was doing that for probably about 2 years, until I moved to Austin, because the
Mhm.
market in Richmond, Virginia is so different than in Texas. So
Right.
basically, the interior design and commercial design was not the strongest part of Richmond. So I didn't find a good job there that I was excited for. So I was doing a lot of photography. I was doing a lot of social media management there. I was freelancing as interior designer as well. But yeah, those were like the three things that I was doing at the same time. So everything was together. And I think that the hardest part when I moved to the States probably was, the barriers of the language. Um,
Oh,
uh,
right, right. It's a different language. Yes, yes,
yes.
yes.
So in Mexico, of course, I was taking a lot of English classes. I had in my mind, like, of course, I know how to speak English of course.
I took
But
classes.
of course, I had classes all my life. Of course, I can do that. But now, when you just move to the States, it's a different story. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think I'm very, thankful for the projects that I had, like photography and the social media management and the interior design that I was doing there. And also after, during the pandemic, I opened another business as was
Yeah, I
my
was gonna
bakery.
ask. I was gonna ask, how did you come up with the bakery idea? Because I was
I
like,
know.
how do you go from
I think,
photography to bakery? Share, please, the story.
well, we were like during pandemic moments. I think that a lot of people that I know was like experimenting something new during the pandemic because we had the
Pandemic,
time for that.
yes.
So I was baking a lot. Of course, well, this first of all, I have never baked something in my life, like never. Like I never experimented something in the oven in my hometown with my mother. No, that never happened in my life.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I will check like some videos on YouTube. So I was very into it. I was watching the Great Baking Show, this
Ah,
like
yes, yes.
England show. That is one of my favorites. And yeah, I think that everything started there. I was making a lot of cookies. So I said, okay, probably I can start selling the cookies like in my free time. So I was making cookies for me and my husband, experimenting a lot of recipes, doing my own recipes. And then I said, okay,
This
I
was
will
during
start.
the pandemic, right? This was during the
It
pandemic,
was
sorry.
that was before, a little bit before the pandemic in
Yeah.
2019.
Hmm.
And then I created a logo. I opened my own social media. I was doing basically everything as a real business. And
Nice.
then during the pandemic, for our anniversary, our wedding anniversary, my husband gave me a KitchenAid mixer. So I was like, oh, this is great. This is like a machine that I can use for my new business. So I started, baking new cakes, new recipes that I couldn't do if I didn't have like, this big mixer.
Oh, you needed
So
that mixer to do certain
yeah, yeah,
recipes.
yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
So I started to, complicate a little bit more my recipes because I had
Hmm.
that could help me, and I bake Japanese cheesecake, and
Wow.
so
Look at
that
you.
was like, yeah, and I posted that on Facebook, on a group on Facebook in Richmond, Virginia, and everybody was like super excited. Of course, everybody was checking social media. Everybody was like waiting for something, new in the city. Of course, Richmond is a small city, but very local, and so everybody was like very interested on my cakes. And I posted that, I don't know, one day, and then everybody was scheduling a cake from me in the next 15 days.
Really?
So that was
That's
crazy. That was
so
crazy.
cool.
And then, I had cookies and that cake, only that cake. And everybody was like, asking me, what else do you have? Can I order a tres leches? Can I order a cake for the birthday of my daughter? And I was like, dang, I have never baked something like that before. So I think that pressure of my clients,
It was kind of driving
I
you to keep
yeah,
doing it, to keep creating
I
it
I
because they
had
had.
yeah, I had to introduce a full menu, create new recipes, a chocolate cake, a tres leches cake. So everybody was like, pretty fast. And I can say that everything started like with that, rhythm, probably in June 2020.
Wow.
So until now, that is, today is like, we are still in November 2024. I have now like 5 years with my bakery, and
Wow.
thousands thousands of cakes that I have baked during my
Oh
free
my
time. So
God.
that's crazy.
That's
But
amazing.
I really enjoy that part.
That's
Yes.
amazing. I absolutely love that story. Thank you for sharing. I so love that story because it's one of those examples of, like when you have a little bit of a passion and you never know where that might lead you. So taking any small step, you can never know what kind of door you open, right? What they say, like open every door, and then whichever one stays open is the one for you, like
Yeah. Yeah. And everything started like, playing in the kitchen. And I said, okay, probably we can try this. And now it's like a big business. It's like, I can say that it's a big business because for the number of cakes that I have baked, it's not the first thing that I do. So it's like in my
Yes.
hobby.
Yes,
And it's
yes.
crazy because sometimes I had to, wake up 4 a.m. because I have two cakes that I have to bake before, getting to work. So it's like I have to really manage my time in order to continue with that business and do my 100% of my job. So it's like kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, but I love that you're mentioning that because it also shows, thank you. It also shows, thanks for sharing, that you don't need to only do one thing. You can do multiple things. Sometimes people say, you have this one area and that's all you're supposed to be doing. But no, you can do multiple things. You just kind of have to have the desire for it. You have to be open to it. And you never know. And then it doesn't have to be a full-time thing. It can be on the side. It can be whatever you want it to be. As
Yeah.
long as you're following your passion, as long as you're kind of doing what you feel is right for you, the road is open. But tell us more about, I guess, the full-time role that you have, which is the design part, which actually also led you to another project you have, which is a podcast. Is that correct?
Yeah. Okay, I'm doing a lot of things. Now that you mentioned everything, is like, oh my God, I'm crazy. But yeah, actually, currently, as you can see, like a big kitchen that is behind me. So I'm now in a showroom. This is a place that I am working every day. Well, sometimes I'm working from home. Sometimes I'm here in the showroom. I'm working in a company that probably if you are in the States, this is like kind of a franchise. This is the OG showroom that my boss franchised. So this is very focused in a cabinetry. I love cabinetry. I love design kitchens, bathrooms, everywhere that where you need cabinetry. Probably it can be in my hands. So yeah, I work together with designers, with architects, with builders, contractors, homeowners every single day. So sometimes I have 5 projects, sometimes I have 10, sometimes I have 20. Probably this is like one of the busiest season because everybody wants a new kitchen for Thanksgiving. So yeah, that is for me, my
So,
job is fantastic.
so do you design kitchen cabinets? You design the whole kitchen? You design.
Well, I'm interior designer. I can say that sometimes, I put a little bit more of my experience and expertise to help the client to decide, like for example, I don't know, the faucet or the tile for the backsplash or the countertops or the cabinetry. So everything of that is like kind of the selection of the kitchen. So sometimes, clients they want a new kitchen, but they don't know exactly what they want. So they need some help, with the selection of what it will look great with the kitchen and the area and the whole design of the interior design of their house. So I can give them a little bit more of that help, not only the cabinetry, because I'm interior designer, so I can help them a little bit more with the selection of the whole space. So we basically here in the company that I'm work for, we take care of the cabinetry. So basically, we work with 9 different vendors. The name of the company is Cabinet IQ. you. So yeah, we are working with 9 different vendors. The cabinetry is coming here from the States. All depends, the style that the client is looking for. So we can I can help him. Well, the client, I can help the client to decide what is the best option for the cabinetry and the style and all that. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty creative. I really like what I'm doing, and yeah, this is like part of my full-time job that I'm doing every day. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
fun.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it sounds like it's definitely something you are very passionate about. You have a creative outlet. You have an option to help someone, design what they know is right for them. I think it's a very fun, like you said, fun job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, I think that you started following me on Instagram on that account.
Yes, that's
Uh,
right.
so I'm constantly very active in social media. So as Mitzi Avila Designer, I'm posting like every day some inspiration, some of my work, some of the things that I'm doing.
Yes,
You
I
know,
love her channel, by the way. Plug. I love it.
Thank you. So I really like to do that, for people that wants to get a little bit more inspiration to have a new kitchen, or they are interested to have a new space or something like that. So I'm very like in the trends of the design world and experimenting with new materials or colors. So sometimes when people is thinking like in a new kitchen, they just automatically they think like a new kitchen is a white kitchen with shaker doors and that's it, but it's a whole new world. We have a lot of things. It's so fun. So having a designer behind your kitchen design, of course that is very helpful to have like an accent piece in your house. So, and very functional as well, not only beautiful, functional as well.
Yeah, that's what I
So
was
yeah.
gonna say. From the videos that I see you share on your social media on Instagram, the tips that you give are very helpful, literally like to anyone, just to see how to make, something in your kitchen functional, how to make this color match that, how to get the backsplash to, 'cause there's different options and it depends on, what mood do you want to set in the, like what kind of, I love all the little tips you share. It's very helpful.
Thank you. And also, I noticed, well, I realized that I was receiving a lot of DMs from, people that is in the college, still in the college, or they are just, recently graduated from college, and
Oh,
they are,
students. Yeah.
yeah, students that, they are looking for some inspiration, or they are asking me, oh, how you started doing what you do? I really want to do what you are doing right now. And it's like, well, you have to be very passionate, and that's it. You can do it. But at the same time, I am very thankful for the community that is here in Austin, Texas. We have an amazing interior design, architecture, building community that is, I don't know, is very open to share everything that is happening in the community, tips or resources, contacts of how they are doing what they do. So, as part of my job, I am connected with amazing architects, designers, builders, and all of that amazing people that is in the construction field. So I said, probably I can start a podcast. So that is how the idea started. I was in touch because some of the people that I'm interviewing on that podcast are my clients. So I'm collaborating with them and with the company that I'm working for, with the interior design or the construction of the cabinets that they need for the properties that they are building or they are remodeling. So that is very interesting to know a little bit more of my clients, where they are getting the inspiration, how they started their own business, because a lot of them are the owners of the firm. So I can know a little bit more, and I can share their story with more people. So that is like a good connection to create or make bigger and stronger the community that we have here in Austin. So yeah, that is
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
No, thank you for sharing. I love that, the journey, like to hear kind of how you got inspired to start the podcast, which was kind of to help other people kind of know how it all comes together and to discover, I feel like as you were on this journey, you discovered how helpful everyone really is, how open everyone really is. They would want to share their journey. They want to give tips because, like I said, it's a very welcoming community, which is something that people don't expect. They expect, sometimes, you're on your own, figure it out, have fun, bye, but then for you to kind of show a different side, that it is a community and you can ask questions and there are people that are willing to help. I feel like it's very beautiful.
Yeah, I experienced that part that, people in the creativity area, creatives that are architects or designers, probably in Mexico, they were like, a little bit more close to keep their secrets. So it's like, at the end, I was like, well, there are no secrets. Like everybody is just doing their own. They are doing their best, and what is working for me probably is can work for you. So I can help you with my tips and everything that I am, my mistakes. I would love that they don't happen to you because it's horrible. So probably can share with you my experience, and huge architects can share for sure amazing experiences and mistakes that they have experienced during their career, and it's just great to hear some advices from that amazing people.
Yeah,
So
I love
yeah.
it. What would you say is your favorite guest so far? Who has been your favorite guest so far? That's
Oh
someone that's like
my
very
god.
interesting.
Well,
Or one
currently
of one of your favorites.
everybody, I
Yeah,
just I can mention a
everybody.
couple, but everybody is great. I have 2 seasons. Each season is 6 episodes. So I can remember, well, in the first season, actually I interviewed my boss, the owner of this
Oh,
company. So
wow,
I
love
think that
it.
is the longest episode of season one, and I learned a lot. How to manage my time as well, how to
Hmm.
how to have like a balance with my work and my free time and the time that I dedicate to my family. So it's like I'm learning a lot from that people. I can say that in the season one, probably my boss interview is one of the most interesting ones, and there is another one. His name is John
Wait, wait,
Jeffrey. Yeah,
what
sorry.
was the first person's name?
His name is Michael Hartel. So you can check the video. Well, you can find
Yes.
my podcast in YouTube under my name, Mitzi Avila, and the name of the project is Creative Blueprints. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, the episode with Michael Hartel is great. Another one is another episode with John Jeffrey. He is just like getting out of the box in the construction area, and he's just building craziness. The buildings that he's building are like out of the world. So you have to check that out. And he's just like very explosive and very fun. So it's a very nice video to watch and get inspired. And then in the season two, I can say that probably my favorite of season two is the last episode. I can say, well, my first idea was just to have conversations like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And that episode is 52 minutes.
Oh my
So
God.
that's insane. It's so long, but it worth it. The architect, his name is Davey McEachron, and he was sharing with me a lot of his experience. He's a musician, and also
Oh.
he started his career in architecture when he was around, I can't remember, but was like at 30 or 32 years old.
Hmm.
So that's very interesting. For me, it was like I'm 35, and I have never, like, I never thought that I could, get back to school. And he basically started his architecture career at 32 or 30. So it's like
Wow, that's very
crazy what
inspiring. It's
is
very
very
inspiring.
inspiring. So for sure, you have to check it out if you want to get
Yes,
inspired. So
definitely. Thank you.
yeah,
Okay,
probably
sounds
those are
like
my favorite.
yeah, sounds like you have some very amazing guests
Yeah.
on, which I guess is part of the job, like you mentioned, because you get connected to these people. Speaking of, I guess, different projects, more on the, I guess, personal development side, if we can shift gears a little bit, um, how would you say, I guess, what would you say would be some tips about kind of um, mental kind of well-being in the struggle and the juggle of everything else that's going on? Like, how would you say, what is like the importance of taking time for yourself, making sure your mental health is good and kind of things like that?
Well, that's a very interesting. Actually, that is one of the um, yeah, one of the questions that you can give it in the proprio here. Thank you. Sorry. Um, One of those questions are part of the podcast, and that's very interesting. The answers that I am getting from that big people in the construction, and I think that my answer can be
Yeah,
like
for you, what would it be for you?
it's a process. Like everybody's like, take care of your mental health, and just like the boundaries, and you have to give work some hours, and just your life is the most important. So you have to exercise, work out, and drink water, and everything is like overwhelming. Like I have to do like a checklist, and just like, and it's like, okay, I think that the mental health is just like a process for me. We never end to work on that.
Yes.
Go to the
Yes.
therapist and work on yourself, be a nice person, be a kind person, and you never end to work on that. Of course,
Yes.
some days you can say, no, I have to put like a boundary between my work and my life. So it's like, but sometimes you have to give an extra, and sometimes you can rest. So it's like kind of a balance. So for me, it's just like a work in progress, and a process, because I'm always like going to the therapist, even if I don't have like a specific, I don't know, problem that I want to solve in
Right.
myself.
Yes.
Is like part of the life, and you have to work on that every single day. So
Yes.
just prioritize yourself and your wellness, and go to work, to a doctor appointment. If you want to prioritize something from work or your doctor appointment, your life is something that is not negotiable. So prioritize yourself. That is probably my answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you're sharing. Thanks for sharing because yes, it is important to remember, yes, you have a lot of projects, there's work, there is responsibilities, there is, commitments, but at the same time, you are a human being. At the
Yeah.
same time, you have to function by filling up your cup first, right? You have to fill up your energy first, be ready to serve others. And in order to do that, you have to step back sometimes. You have to take time for yourself, take care of yourself, like you just said. And definitely speaking to other people is very helpful. It's very helpful. Just kind of speaking and talking about what's going on in a person's life. It doesn't have to be anything big, it doesn't have to be a big issue. Just speaking about your day to day is already, helpful because, we just move so fast. I feel like we move very fast. We have a lot of things going on and we don't stop and kind of breathe and take a step back. It can
Yeah.
be overwhelming. So I like how you're kind of saying choose to prioritize yourself because you're the most important. You're the vehicle that's driving the whole thing. So
Exactly.
your fuel needs to be full before you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing. I have some other fun questions.
Okay.
What would you say? are top three people that have influenced you on your journey so far?
Okay. Well, let me think about it. Probably one of them is my father.
Oh,
Um, yeah. Well, I have that artistic, creative part because my father is a professional photographer in Mexico, and he is like very into what you should do what you consider that is the best that you can do. So if you will do it, do your best. There is no other way to do it. So I think
yes.
that I am very perfectionist. I am trying to not consider that is like a weakness, but sometimes it is because I am very exigent. I'm demanding a lot of myself to get something that is
Oh,
perfect. But as
yes,
a
yes, yes,
designer,
yes.
you have to be very detail oriented. So that is something that have helped me for a long time and helped me to do my work in the best way.
Nice,
The second
nice.
person can be my husband
Oh,
because he's my favorite designer in the world.
I love it.
And he's very, also I don't know, very focused in the detail and also creating something new in the theater. Sometimes, some of the plays require a very special scenography. So he is very into that, like creating new spaces in the theater and just to improve the perception of the people that is watching the play. So creating that experience is one of my favorite things, and it's the
Wow.
same that I am doing as interior designer, just like
Yes.
improve the way that the people is living, is just like improve the experience. So that is one of the things that I have learned from him. And but also he is a professor in the University of Texas.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so of
What does
course
he teach?
he's teaching scenic design. For the master in the UT. So all his students are, sometimes are very, I don't know, they don't know what they want to do when they graduate. So he's kind of sharing a lot of his knowledge with their students, and also give them like contacts to grow in the field. So of course everything is about networking, but he has a long career, a lot of steps that will love that for his students will be easier. So I love that he's
Wow.
sharing that part, and he is not like keeping the secrets and this is my world, and that was complicated for me, so you have to experience that too. No, it's not like that. Just make it easy for the new talents, and that is great from him.
I love
Um,
that. Yes,
yeah,
beautiful.
and I don't know. I think that the main influence in my design field probably is Karim Rashid. Karim Rashid is one of the industrial designers, the most recognized industrial designers, sorry,
Hmm.
in
Yes.
the world. So you can check his Instagram as Karim Rashid. He's fantastic. All the colors, he lives into design. So all the environment where he works, everything is designed by him. All the clothing that he's wearing every day, he designed every single piece of it, like
Oh,
the watch,
wow.
every single I don't know, like
Wow.
ornament or vase or everything that around him. He designed every single product that is in his environment.
Impressive.
So he likes design, and that is the most amazing piece of design that I am influenced for
I
sure.
love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I don't think I've
Yeah,
heard that name, so now I'm gonna have to go check that out.
yeah, go
Everybody
ahead.
go check it out.
Actually, I
Thank
was in
you.
New York for the New York Design Week this year, And I met him, and I was, oh my God, I was so
Wow, what
excited.
was that
So
like? I want to hear it. What was that like?
that was very weird. I traveled with my husband to the New York City Design Week, and just the very first day, we landed in New York, and I was checking, the events for that day, and I saw that he had, like kind of a talk. And he was introducing a launching line with a furniture store. So I saw that probably was like 7 p.m. and I saw that event was happening like 7:30, New York. So we were
Yeah.
like in Manhattan and we had to go to very downtown. And I checked what time was that. And I said, we will do like 40 minutes. So there is no way to get there on time. And my husband was like, we can get it. We can do it. We will do it. And I was like really into my clothing of my,
Oh my
of
God.
my trip. Like I was like completely out of my self, like zero, like, you know, batch. And I said, okay, let's do it. And we arrived there like probably 10 minutes before the event ended. And I met him, and I have a very fun video because my husband was like recording that video,
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, "Oh my God!" That was so sweet to see myself very excited to meet him. So I just took a selfie with him, and I said, "I really admire you, and it's incredible what you're doing," and that's it. But
Was
yeah,
he
it was
nice?
very
Was he nice? Was he
Oh
nice?
yes, he's very nice. So he's very tall, and I couldn't realize that in pictures. So he was like, I don't know, like it was probably I'm like 5'7", so he was probably 6 and something because he is very tall. But that was very fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it because you know what they say, like, be careful to meet your heroes because sometimes when you meet them in person, they're
Oh yeah.
nasty, they're not good, but it's good that, you're saying
Yeah.
he's actually is nice. He actually is
He's,
good. He actually
yeah.
is what you think.
I can keep admiring him, so everything was good.
I love it. Thanks for sharing. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful story. I have another
Yeah.
question.
Of course.
So what would be the biggest lessons you have learned, maybe like two lessons that you have learned so far on your journey through the bakery, through the photography, through design, whatever it is? What would be like two lessons that you would love to pass on to other people? Um,
Mm, my main lesson can be if you studied something, like, for example, me, that I studied for industrial design, do not think that you have to do only that in your life. So that is something that I have learned. If you want to paint. If you want to, I don't know, like be a pilot or
Dance, yes.
dance, whatever that you want to do, you can do it. And you can do it at a level that you can be an expert. If you study for something, at your 18, at your college, uh, good for you. So, but you don't have to dedicate yourself your life doing only that thing. So for example, the bakery, like I'm a designer, of course my talents as a designer help me to continue with my bakery, and sometimes decorate the cakes and have like sense of how everything looks great in a cake. But also, like, the baking is a whole different world, and I can do it. And if I decide to do something else, I trust in myself and I will put all my efforts to do it if that is my passion. So if you want to do something else that is not what you studied at your college or at your master or something else, just do it because what is the worst thing that can happen? That you fail? That's fine. Life is for it. So I think that is the main lesson that I have learned. And I hope I really, I'm passionate to start new challenges in my life. So that is something that I would love to say to everybody. If you want to start with something new and if you are scared to start with something new, just do it, and it never will be perfect. Just so you can start and just like improving it during the time. So that is the main
I
lesson.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Probably
That's beautiful.
the second thing is like share your knowledge all time.
Oh,
Whatever,
yes.
whatever that you learn, don't keep it only for you. You can share it, and that is part of, that I love to create content, because I can share with everybody what I am doing. The design world, when that is something that I notice, when you follow, a designer or an architect, everything is perfect, everything is flawless. But the interior design world, the design world is not perfect. Any work is perfect. So just like go out of it and fail. And I love to share my mistakes as well. And that is part of the life. So share your knowledge with others. Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Thank you for sharing. That is so beautiful. The last part you said, fail. That is so important because people, do have a lot in their minds where they think that it has to be perfect, it has to be amazing, or it's not going to work. But mentioning something like, in real life, people fail. In your journey, you will fail. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of it. It's not something you can escape. So might as well kind of be open to it. Don't be like set back by it. Just understand that it is part of the journey. It's normal. Keep
Mm-hmm.
failing because the more you fail, the more you learn. The more you
Yeah.
learn, the more you grow and you get better
Mm-hmm.
and better and better. And that's the only way kind of to go for it. So I love that. And I love the first thing you shared also about kind of not being afraid to do something that's different. Because, people, same thing, wait, oh, until I have like the perfect website or until I'll have like the perfect, this and that, then I'll start. But no, you don't have to wait for anything
Yeah.
perfect. If you have the desire, start now. Like you said, start now, start small, however you can. And you never know where it might lead you. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Thank you for sharing that. I have another
Yeah.
question.
Yay.
um, so, what would be actually before that, I wanted to do a fun little thing because we're gonna be ending in like 15 minutes. I have these cards. It's called Question Everything
Okay.
by a podcast host, Daniela. It's called Pretty Smart Podcast. And these are basically very fun interview questions. It's like a cards, and usually I like pull them out just for fun, and it kind of like brings out very interesting topics. So I was thinking maybe we can do a few of these.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick. This is an interesting one. What is the best thing you ever quit? You ever stopped doing?
Damn.
That's an interesting question.
Yes. Well, I can share that before working here, I
Yeah.
was working in another company that I really loved what I was doing. But they had a terrible customer service and a terrible process, to have the kitchens on time and the cabinetry and all that. And I said, even if I really like what I am doing in terms of design, I need to quit, because I what we were like talking about mental health. My mental health was like terrible at that time. They were promising lead time for their kitchens that was very short, and they were not bringing the kitchens, and the installations were not happening. So I had
Wow.
like a lot of clients under me, like they were like, it was like overwhelming, because of course the clients were like super angry about it. And I said, even if I like the design part that I'm doing here, this is not matching with my values, so I need to quit. That was like very,
Oh.
yeah, that was crazy.
No,
And
yeah, go ahead.
so I had to prioritize myself, and I had to listen to my God. And I said, this is not good for me, because at that point they were like, yeah, all the clients were super angry, just like I having like very hard conversations with them, and everything was not my fault. So everything was like about the administration of that company, and I said, I love what I'm doing here, but I don't like what is happening. So yeah, I decided to stop doing what I was doing.
Good for you. But the
Yeah.
reason why I'm kind of connecting to that story very much is I have a very similar experience that
Oh
just
my
happened
God.
recently in my life. And I'm like, oh my God. So it was like a few months ago. I was doing this project, which I was absolutely loving. I don't want to share too much detail, but there was a project, like a work project I was doing, was really, really my favorite thing. I've been doing it for a long time. And then I had the same issue. One of the people I was there was like a new person that was brought on, and this new person just would not do what they say. Everything would be delayed, everything would not actually happen, like everything I needed would not happen. And it started to affect my mental health because I was not able to deliver the things I was supposed to deliver because everything would be, all over the place, not done and delayed. And there's like all these like fake stories they would say about why they didn't get to it and whatever. And I was just making a very tough choice. I was like, I love this place, but it's destroying me. So I don't know. And then last week, literally, I just made the decision last week that I have to leave that project because it was not healthy for me. And it was like a very difficult thing to do because I really, really loved that project. I never thought I would leave that project. And then this kind of like pushed me out of it. And now you're sharing the same thing. Now you're kind of like affirming for me that I made the right decision because
Of course. Yeah,
it
I'm very.
was
I can. I was just remembering myself 1 year ago because this happened last year, and during this time that we are like in Thanksgiving holiday season, I was like very frustrated. Like everything, all the kitchens that were supposed to happen during this time never happened. They had like a delay of like around 8 months. So that was insane, like not possible. And now then after I took that decision, actually my new boss met me in via Instagram actually, and he
no
offered me
way.
this position. So I'm very thankful for that. Sometimes we are like, we have to decide and prioritize ourselves, and we don't know, what will be happening in our life. But great things will happen, and this position, this place is amazing. I don't have like any issue here. Everything like
Oh.
is on time. They have an amazing detail. They are detail oriented as I am, and everything is great. So of course that was the best decision that you could make.
Wow. Yeah, I love it. So that's perfect. Perfect story. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. I have like two more questions and then we'll go.
Of course.
I'm gonna say, I have to pick a fun one. Ooh, this is a good one.
Okay.
Um, what would your younger self not believe about your life today?
My God. The problem is that one of my issues is that I'm always that young me all time.
That's
So
good.
sometimes that young me is like doing a lot of things. As you can see now, I'm involved with a lot of things, but probably having my own business, as even
Yes.
even as a baker, probably in the future I will have my own interior design firm.
God willing. Yeah.
So probably that is, yeah, that part is great. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. And I would say, ooh. there's so many, there's so many questions. I was like, okay, 1 second. The last question, you gotta make it a good one. Okay. Okay, so a mistake that you made along the way that you would like to save other people from making.
um Dang, a lot of issues and mistakes are like on my mind, but Um, Probably that one that I shared with you. Like if you're in a very toxic place working and you are not feeling that yourself is, you know, valued, you are not valued as a person, you are not recognized, the place is not interested on you to grow in the field, um, just quit and move to somewhere else. Of course, there is a place for you, and life is also about find that place for you, and just not like say, oh well, this is good. Well, I mean, I can survive, but of course you can survive because you are great, but you can move as well. So probably that is just one step. You'll learn something there and then move, because life also is very short. So you have to do what you are doing, and you are very passionate and you are great, and you can move somewhere else. So probably one of my mistakes is just like be there on that place, even if they were not valuing me. I was like experiencing horrible racist experiences there, and you are not good for that. You are very good to do what you are passionate about, and you have to move to somewhere else. Of course, there is another place that will be so happy to have you, and you can move somewhere else. And
I love it.
yeah,
I love it. Yes, thank you for sharing that. That is so perfectly said because one of the things is when we are in those kind of situations, it's very hard to make the choice to leave. It's very hard because, it's like, oh, what about this? What about that? What about like, it's like so many things go through a person's mind, and it's kind of like very difficult to kind of prioritize your well-being, to prioritize, you being
yeah,
valued. Like it's not as easy as people think it is, but I think it's important, like you just said, to know that you have the right to do that. It is your life, and you have the right to live the life that you feel is right for you, even
yeah.
if it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very interesting. Like in now in the place that I am now, and I can see like my life in the past as with a perspective. A lot of doors will open for you because you are in the right place. Like 1 year ago, I never thought about, the podcast. I never thought about sharing more content. I never thought about a lot of things that I am currently doing, and I'm connecting with a lot of amazing people. And that never was in my mind because I was working in that other place. And now that I am in other place with other decisions, it's great, all the doors that are open now. And now that I can
Wow.
see like I'm in a complete different spot in my life, not only like in the position that I am in my work, in my job. um, like everything that is happening around me is so much better than in the past. So of course, if you make a decision that you are following your gut, you are in the right decision, because probably you cannot see that now, but just let's wait a little bit and you will see.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I love it. Thank you for sharing because that's like very important to have like those kind of like mindset. It's about having the right mindset and
Mhm.
knowing that what's possible for you and what
Yeah,
life can offer you, being open to kind of those new things. That was beautifully said. I love it. I love it.
thank
Thank you.
you.
And then the final question that we usually end on, and then I'll let you share where we can find you on Instagram and your podcast and your contact information. But before we do that, what is one, I guess, rule or law, if you could create one, that you would love for everyone in the world to follow?
A rule? Um,
Or
Dang,
something to do if you should want people you wish more people would do.
dang, we need more kind people.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
kind. Be kind is the new black. I think that
Yes.
is, and we have. I learned during. I think that since I moved to the States, there is, in Spanish, I no compitas as compitas. That means that you don't have competitors. You have to have partners.
Oh, I love
So
it.
we are very focused, like who is my competitor, and I have to do it best, my best, and just better than the rest, and just like enclose that sphere that no is not allowing you to see what is out there. And when you are very open to create relationships and networking and collaborate with others, like we are doing here in your podcast,
Thank you.
that is a stronger community, and just create partners and friends and make friends and just be kind, and the world will open the doors for you. That is
Yeah,
probably.
that is beautifully said. I love it. Thank you so much. That's perfect. That's exactly what I would agree as well. Like if people could think of themselves like each other as partnerships, friendships, connect more, don't disconnect, connect,
Yeah.
and then that is what kind of opens more doors for you, what opens their life, it creates community. All that you just said, it's beautiful. Well, this was amazing. How do people find you? Where can they connect with you? Do you have an Instagram or a website or whatever you want to share, or the podcast?
Yeah, well, it's a lot. So my website is mitziaviladesigner.com. Well, I'm sharing there, some blogs and some articles
Nice.
that you can read as in design. So, and then my Instagram as designer, mitziavila.designer, and you can find me as Mitzi Avila. So I'm there just sharing more content in design. And then my bakery is Cookies and Chill ATX.
Is that
So
Instagram?
is that Instagram. Also, I have a website, so you can, if you are in Austin, probably I can bake for you. So it's
Yes.
cookiesandchillbakery.com. Also, I ship my cookies as well if you want some of my cookies.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what else? The podcast, yeah, in YouTube. My channel is Mitzi Avila, and the podcast is Creative Blueprints. Also, you can find the podcast or the project on Instagram as at Creative Blueprints. So you can see that
Oh,
there. You can see some shorts that I'm posting as a reels. So that's very interesting, and that is a lot of inspiration that I really invite you to watch.
I love it. Yes. Thank you for sharing. So, to close it, I just want to acknowledge you. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your journey. It's been really beautiful to hear your story and your journey. And I definitely want to say that you're a very inspiring person. I hope you keep going and doing more of what you love and kind of creating that community that you are creating, because it is definitely, I feel like, needed in the world more of, to kind of to have that inclusive, like welcoming environment that you're kind of promoting. I love it. And definitely, yeah, I'm excited to see where you end up next. I love it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for doing this because I think that there is no better inspiration that get inspired from other human beings. And thank you for doing that. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna hang up, but you can stay on.
Yeah.